Welcome back to DQP Does Drafty Quarters Podcast Network movie review show where we see dead people. With me is my co-host Russell.
I'm cold.
Yeah, it's real cold in here. We also have Dave.
I'm very scared that we see dead people. They're spooky.
Spoopy. So this week we watched The Sixth Sense. Came out in 1999. It was PG-13, an hour and 47 minutes.
Feels longer.
Huh?
I said feels longer.
It does feel longer. Do you just want me to hit the plot?
Yeah, just hit it real quick.
All right, hit it real quick.
Don't spoil it.
It is literally 22 years old. I don't care anymore. Starts with Bruce Willis. He's a child psychiatrist. Just was honored by the mayor. He's with his wife. She's talking about how much they've sacrificed. They're drunk. So they're drunk. A kid that he didn't help, that he failed to help, breaks into their house, shoots Bruce Willis. Fade to black.
Not just any kid. Donnie Wahlberg.
Donnie Wahlberg.
Of Wahlburgers.
Of the Wahlburgers. So shoots Bruce Willis, shoots himself, fade to black. The next fall, which I don't know when it was supposed to be.
Spring.
I don't know.
Winter.
So, like some months or a year later, sometime around then.
Some undisclosed amount of time because we keep losing track of time.
Yeah. Bruce Willis is watching this kid, gives like a little breakdown. Seems to have the same problems that the kid that he couldn't help had. He's 9. He's played by Haley Joel Osment. Turns out he sees dead people. Turns out the kid that he couldn't help saw dead people. Bruce Willis figures out that this is real, and not just a kid with like weird schizophrenia that doesn't usually present in childhood anyway, and tries to figure out why these dead people are visiting this kid. Figures out that they want help. They help Misha Barton's Munchausen syndrome by proxy character to point the blame at her mother for her death and to save her sister, who is now the target of her mother's psychosis. And he's like, oh man, I helped you figure it out. So like the kid starts helping the dead people. So then, Bruce Willis is like, wow, I think we figured it out. And the kid's like, hey, I think I have an idea of how you could talk to your wife, because the whole time that he's been trying to help the kid, it's been making it look like he's like getting distance from his wife. They're having problems.
Yeah.
And like she won't talk to him. He can't talk to her. It makes it look like she's having an affair. And he's like, I think I have an idea of how you could talk to your wife. If she's asleep, she has to listen to you and she doesn't even know it. He's like, that's a good idea. So he's like, am I never going to see you again? And Bruce Willis is like, I feel like we've said everything we have to say. He's like, well, maybe we could pretend. So he pretends, says, I'll see you tomorrow. The kid's happy about it. Bruce Willis goes home. This is over the course of several days, obviously, that all this shit happens. There's a lot of like dead people that you see, and like Haley Joel's kid's character getting tormented by these dead people. And Bruce Willis goes home. His wife is, for the second time in the movie, watching their wedding video. She's asleep on the couch, so he starts talking to her, and she like is half asleep replying because she can hear him. And this is the point where he figures out that he's fucking dead.
Fucking dead.
And because she goes, why did you leave me? And she drops his ring, and it rolls across, and he sees that he doesn't have his ring on, and then he flashes back to the night that he was shot, figures out that he died. So then he gets his closure and he can move on. At the same time this is happening, it's going back and forth between this scene and the Haley Joel's character and his mom, who the whole time has been freaking out because she doesn't know what's wrong with her son, because he keeps like getting like hurt by these ghosts and like just being scared as fuck, and weird stuff keeps happening at their house. Like her grandmother's bumblebee pendant keeps ending up in his bedroom instead of the closet where she keeps it. Like she goes into the kitchen and everything's closed, and she turns around and turns back around and it's all open, and Haley's character is just like sitting there terrified, and she's like, "What? Why were you looking in all the cabinets?"
Right.
In 5 seconds.
He's like, Pop-Tarts.
Pop-Tarts. But anyway, so they're in a traffic jam because of an accident, and she's like, I hope nobody got hurt. He's like, yeah, somebody died. And she's like, how do you know? And because she's standing next to my window, and she's like, you're freaking me out right now. And then he tells her about grandma. Bro.
Yeah.
Fucking heart-wrenching scene. She believes him because he tells her shit that he could not possibly know, and convinces his mom that he actually sees dead people, including her fucking mother. And so they have like a heartwarming scene of them hugging and like, coming to terms with that. And when Bruce Willis dies, or like he, realizes that he's dead, it goes to white, then shows a little bit of their wedding video, and then that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Yep. 5 out of 7. Perfect. Perfect score.
5 out of 7.
So, this movie's really fucking good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Like, I did not remember this movie being this good. Like,
same.
And I think
I did, but like I actually have a big complaint about it that I didn't before, but now I do.
Okay.
But keep going. Sorry.
So good stuff first.
Yeah, let's do good stuff first, because I don't have that many complaints. It's just like one major one.
And I think we have the same
This is a similar one. We already kind of talked about it a little bit.
I got some good stuff.
So let's talk about Haley Joel.
Yeah.
Best child actor ever. I don't know.
He's really good
in this fucking movie. Yeah, dude. Like holy shit!
I've
You
seen
really
Secondhand
feel for him.
Lions, and like I've seen a couple other when he was younger. Fantastic, man. Phenomenal job. Fucking, and I feel like so as I was watching it, I was like, Bruce Willis's performance is a little lackluster. Leaves something to be desired, and I think he didn't want to overshadow Haley.
Well, I mean, like, Bruce is good, but he's not. I don't think this is really his normal wheelhouse, right? Like, this is his normal comfort zone.
Yeah,
because his comfort zone was originally comedy, and then it became action, and then like, so like this is like not left field, but pretty close.
Yeah, drama scary.
Yeah.
And his like his stutter stepping, walking away from his wife comes off cheesier than it does serious, and it's like he overacts that part.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I agree with you. I just don't think this was his wheelhouse at the time, at least.
Yeah.
Because this was kind of him like breaking into those more like Die Hard serious, but he's a funny character.
It's a different kind of serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he usually just plays that like witty protagonist guy, or
right.
Occasionally he's the villain, and he's just like I'm Bruce Willis,
right?
So I'm here,
right? Right. Yeah. No, I mean,
he's not wrong. You're not wrong.
He's kind of like Harrison Ford in that way.
Yeah.
He has like one guy that he does really well, and you can fit it into a lot of different roles.
Yeah.
And he does have a little bit of range to like shift that guy around, but like,
yeah,
that's kind of who he is.
Yeah. And we see him in later M. Night Shyamalan movies. We see him give like a drastically better performance at a similar character. in Unbreakable. But so I was reading Haley Joel. His father was extremely supportive of his career. So one of the things that I thought was interesting was that he didn't do a lot of movies for his age range.
Yeah.
And apparently he like caught a lot of shit for that. But that's because his dad was trying to teach him artistic integrity.
Yeah.
And wanted him to have a strong ideology behind him and his career instead of just being another fucking Sprouse
Disney
boy.
kid.
Yeah, another Disney kid. Like, so I thought that was super interesting. And he what I was worried about finding, because he kind of disappears for a while, which
Yeah.
I figured out what he was doing while he was disappeared from the scene.
Right.
But he kind of disappears for a while, so I was like worried something bad had happened to him because it's fucking Hollywood and all this
Right,
shit.
yeah.
Right?
That's true. Yeah.
But he has said that all of his experiences were positive, and pretty much everyone he has worked with were like uplifting and always like protective of him.
That's good.
And I thought that was super cool to read something positive like that. So on the set of The Sixth Sense, he talked very highly of M. Night and Bruce Willis, like being like mentors and like cultivating him and his career and like just being a large support system for him.
Yeah.
while
Positive
he was-
influences.
Yeah, positive influences while he was like figuring, he's been acting since he was 4. Someone came across him in a Walmart and was like, "This kid should be in a commercial." And then from there on, like,
Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Now he plays Mesmer.
Yeah, right. Which he has talked about liking to play villains and wanting to play more villains. So while he was not in the spotlight during kind of mostly like his teenage years and stuff and like getting older, he was doing a lot of voice acting for video games. Like
Sounds
a lot.
about right.
He's in a lot of shit. He's in Kingdom Hearts, to name one of them. He was in a couple more. But so I thought that was interesting. I thought his career was interesting because I watched this and I was like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Like, why did he start taking these like weird little roles where it's like, hey, we need someone who was like super great as a child that the audience is going to know. Let's put him in this role. And like he's in like several roles like that.
Yeah.
Mesmer being one that I felt was very much like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally like a old washed up guy that was
Yeah.
a famous person when they were a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mesmer, for those who haven't watched it, Mesmer is a character on The Boys, the Amazon Prime original, which is an adaptation of a comic book.
Yeah. He was a superpower that he could read minds if he touched you. And he literally had like a TV show as a kid.
Yeah.
Where he did that. And that was like the show.
Yeah.
And when they meet him, he's older, Haley Joel, at like a convention signing autographs.
Yeah. Which I think which is funny on several different levels. One of them being, I want a sequel to this movie where Haley Joel is ghost detective.
Yeah.
Like solving fucking
Ghost Whisperer.
Yeah, ghost issues.
Yeah, that would be cool. I don't know, like you said, fantastic in this movie. An interesting career. It's good to hear that he had a positive experience in Hollywood. It seems to be rare to hear that now.
Apparently it's rare.
Especially with child actors, which is horrible. But I mean, him throughout this movie is ridiculously good.
Yeah.
I think the character is very interesting. Because like you have like the scared little kid in lots of shit.
Yeah.
But it's not normally this kind of movie where they have this kind of character development.
Yeah.
Right? It's usually like the coming of age movie
Yeah.
or the little kids not really scary horror thing, right? That have this kind of transformation where they're scared and then they figure shit out and then they get better, right?
Yeah.
So that it's interesting to see that character arc in this kind of movie.
Yeah.
Like as serious as this movie is. I really like Bruce Willis in this. I know I kind of said he's one note, but it's a good note and he can move it, right?
Yeah.
So like it fits this movie, the character really well.
Yeah.
And I like all the supporting cast. Like his wife is really good in like the weird interactions that they have because she's alone. He's not there.
Yeah.
But like it makes sense. And Haley's mom in this is really good. I should probably like give the actors
Toni
names.
Collette.
Yeah, Toni Collette and what the fuck's the other girl's name? Olivia Williams. Olivia Williams plays Bruce Willis's wife, and Toni Collette plays Haley Joel's mom. But yeah, I mean, Toni Collette goes through every fucking emotion in the book.
Yeah.
In this movie, and
Yeah.
I mean, she plays it off just like, you know, a real single mom going through some shit and like having a hard time with her kid, you know? So, I mean, I feel like we've all seen our moms in various stages of, you know, angry and sad that whatever is happening and,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know,
The way her character is written, I think, is pretty great too. Specifically, at the beginning, I was like, is she turning tricks? I don't remember this movie.
yeah.
I was like, please don't be turning tricks. Please be like a genuine character. And then she keeps talking about her jobs and stuff. And then like,
They never,
she's not. She's like,
yeah,
she
they never
works
talk
jobs.
about what her jobs are.
Yeah.
Yeah, which like I am pro sex work.
Yeah,
But I
it's
didn't
usually
want-
it's
it's
usually
usually-
used as a archetype.
yeah, it's usually used as
Yeah.
an archetype in like a demonizing way.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that, and I was happy to not see that.
But yeah, I mean, like I like her character a lot. Dave, you need to get in on your good stuff before we dive into the bad stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, basically, like it's a good plot, and it's well written and very well acted, and it was one of not like, you know, I mean, there are movies that have twists, but like this is a huge twist.
Right.
This changes the whole plot of the movie, right? And it's at the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a new thing, and M. Night like is that became his genre. Like that's what he did.
Yeah. The whole movie is not what you thought it was.
Yeah. So like it's very interesting the way it's done and the way it's put together, and it's good. It's well done, which for like a first like big outing is a fucking big deal.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know? So
I can say some good stuff.
yeah,
Good stuff.
I mean, you could like butt your head in here anytime you want. You know,
I didn't want
just
to.
jump in,
I didn't want to
step on
get in the
toes.
way. Yeah, step on your toes,
You guys
Oh,
are fine.
Toesies?
on your little toes.
You have to with me and Shane sometimes.
Yeah,
That's-
we'll just
I've learned
fucking-
that.
We'll just talk, man.
After being on this show for what, like 2 months now, I've learned that.
Yeah.
No, I really enjoy this movie. I was trying to think. I was watching it the other day. I think the last time I watched this movie, I was probably way too young.
Yeah.
So I didn't
Yeah.
understand it, and I think I've only seen it once, well,
Oh,
twice
wow.
now. So I had this cool because, like, obviously I know the end of it because
Yeah.
it's been memed to death too. You know?
Oh yeah.
So, but like watching this, like even though knowing about Bruce Willis, like I still like I was engaged with the film. Like my plan was to watch the movie like for a while, then like go to bed because I had to go to work.
Right.
But I turned it on and like I watched the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like I got sucked in, and I picked up like
We're like fuck sleep.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm tired today. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I thought they did a great job. I love the scene with Bruce Willis and his wife at the restaurant.
Yeah,
like that's like knowing that, knowing what I knew now, I'm like, oh man, but like still like you can still relate.
It still plays out.
Yeah, plays out very well. And I really like. I don't know. You guys probably picked this up because it's not really much of a secret. But I love every time you see red in the film. That's when there's like either something ominous happens or like the ghost is nearby.
Right.
And so like I found myself like, oh, there's red right there. Well, Bruce Willis in the scene. All right. Like, so yeah, I was like picking out the red.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. Like there were ghosts in the house before he gets shot. Like,
yeah.
Because like they're like, why is it so cold in here? And then like, yeah, because like the kid was there and they were like following him around.
Yeah.
Donnie's character.
Donnie Wahlberg.
Fucking
Wahlburgers.
The Wahlburgers. But yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's a very good movie. Are we ready to trash it now?
Yeah.
I'm ready to be hurt, Shane. Hurt me.
Am I going first? Because I feel like our thing is the same.
Yeah.
So we can. Okay. The pacing is real weird in this movie.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So the way that this seems to have been written, it feels like a collection of vignettes, and instead of the vignettes telling different stories, they're telling the same story sequentially. But there's chunks missing in between all of them. Which it's sort of explained by a throwaway line where Bruce Willis says that he's losing track of time, which makes sense for a couple of different things. Where the door with the red handle, it is blocked by a table full of books.
Yeah,
because his wife has put the table there so she won't go downstairs and mess with all his stuff because it'll make her sad, right?
Or drink wine all day.
Or drink wine and die.
There's a lot of wine down there.
Well, she's also like on antidepressants. Oh my god, she's on antidepressants. Yeah. So every time he goes to go down there to look at his records and like be in his kind of office-y area down in the basement, he can't open the door. But then it shows him patting his pockets for a key, but he never pulls one out, and then he's immediately downstairs in the next scene. So basically what it's intimating, and this is an assumption, which the movie preys on your assumptions. It's an assumption that he is basically blacking out when he's doing ghosty shit, right? He's walking through the wall or the door and like floating down the stairs to get to the basement instead of, realizing there's a fucking table in the way.
Right, yeah.
Because he only sees what he wants to see, right? So he doesn't see the parts where he's acting like a ghost. And that accounts for the disjointed feel of the scenes. So like there's a explanation for why it is the way it is, but it makes it feel weird, and I don't know that that's a good thing. There was another thing that I wanted to say about it, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, I feel like the movie kind of suffers because M. Night was too worried about the audience figuring out Bruce Willis was dead before the end.
Yeah.
Which, like, that's
I can see that. Yeah.
General, when you do movies the way he does movies, he very much doesn't want you to figure it out until the end, and he wants you to rewatch it and go, "Oh, neat."
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Make you go, "Huh? Neat."
Yeah. So
what the fuck?
Neat.
Yeah, and so knowing Bruce Willis is dead, like, everything's there.
Yeah.
Like, it's all there.
It's the whole
You're
movie.
just M. Night's smarter than you, and you're too stupid to figure it out.
Yeah. Literally, the whole movie, like, every time he's in a scene, Bruce Willis is in a scene with another person, or he shows up at a random place with Haley, you just, like, assume. It's just, like, automatically in your head, you just assume the reasons without you being told. And he's like, M. Night is like really good at something that I've always been jealous of Trent Reznor about. So there's this thing that Trent Reznor does. If you don't know who Trent Reznor does, fuck you. He's 9 Inch Nails. He is 9 Inch Nails. He also does a lot of soundtracking stuff now, but there's this thing that he does in a lot of his songs where he will repeat a line a couple times, and then he'll start to repeat it, and it'll be incomplete, and he'll start doing another thing, and you just complete it in your head because the repetition is there. Right. He says it twice. He's gonna say it the third time. He's gonna say it a fourth time. Where'd it go? But you fill it in automatically, and then eventually he got to a point where he knew that if he said a certain phrase, you would fill in the last word without him ever saying it. And there's songs that he does that in.
Yeah.
For the phrase to make sense, it has to have that last word. That word isn't in the song.
Right.
But you fill it in with your head because you know what the phrase is. It's a common turn of phrase, so you fill it in yourself. And that's something that M. Night does in this movie. The mom and the psychiatrist are sitting in the room right after the kid gets in trouble. She obviously, invited him to talk to the kid because the kid's having trouble and she's already seeing him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you know that? You don't know that. It's never said in the movie that she hired him.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
He's just there.
He's just there. The kid's having problems, so his mom hired a psychiatrist. You don't know that she hired a psychiatrist. You don't know that he was state assigned. You don't know any of that shit. You just assume it. And that's because you've been programmed by other stories and real life to fill in these blanks. And he uses that shit against you. And that's like the awesome part of the way he writes this shit, especially this movie, because it's like, there's so many of these scenes. You've been in a relationship or you've seen it on TV or a movie where you go to a restaurant and you're late and you try to talk to your partner and they're mad so they don't reply.
Yeah.
He uses that experience against you in this movie.
Yeah.
And it's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
People that are paying tribute to people will say the thing they're paying tribute to as at the end when they're like, if like she does. She goes to the restaurant to have their anniversary dinner by herself because he's fucking dead. And when she gets up to leave, she says happy anniversary like he's there. But she doesn't know that he's there.
Right, yeah.
But it fills in the assumption that we've made that she's just mad at him. So she says it like kind of offhand because he's not there and she's not saying it lovingly and stuff. But that's not because she's mad at him. It's because he's dead and she's sad.
Yeah. Which when you go back to it, makes it even sadder.
Yeah, it makes it super sad. But like, if you didn't know that and you're watching the movie for the first time, you're just like, man, she's fucking pissed.
Yeah.
No, he's not actually there. like
he did.
The whole movie, like the way that he takes advantage of your assumptions is fucking brilliant.
Yes.
But the way the movie is written to set it up, it seems a little fearful, as Russell was saying.
Yeah, because like it's just like, but credit to it being his first big break, like the movie that really went on to define, how his career turned out.
Yeah.
Like it is good. It is a great movie. If he would have wrote this movie after having 3 or 4 other movies under his belt, it would have been fantastic. I'll bring up the twist from Unbreakable without spoiling it for Dave.
I need to watch movies. God damn.
Yeah,
it's like
dude.
I'm on a podcast about
doing
movies
that?
or something.
Are we doing that one? No, we're doing that one later.
Yeah, we're doing that. We're going to do the 3.
Oh, fuck.
So
Ooh.
the
Hey,
twist
what's up?
in Unbreakable is there the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's great, and it doesn't interfere with the writing of the movie because he was less afraid because he was like, oh, the audience is stupider than me.
Like when it was like, I wrote this extremely highbrow shit and people got it and they were like, wow. And then he was like, wait, You had no idea? I was afraid I was being too obvious. All right, I'm gonna dumb it down now. Dumb it down now.
Yeah, so it like and like signs is good too. And like it's not really a twist, but
It's
people
like
call it a twist.
It's a revelation
yeah. It's
more than a twist.
yeah. You've seen signs, right?
Yeah, I've seen Signs.
Okay, so the little girl leaving water all over the fucking house. Like,
Well, it's more that like the wife knew when she was dying all this shit, and she told the girl to do that because she knew all this stuff was going to happen.
Yeah.
Because she like was dying and saw God or something. It's been a long time since I watched that fucking movie, so I don't remember exactly how it went.
yeah.
But I mean, that was the water thing was just a part of the revelation.
Right.
Yeah.
But like it's like the whole movie's like aliens.
Yeah.
And then you're like, but are aliens real? And then he's like, oh yeah, aliens are real.
Yeah.
So you know it,
But so were like prophetic visions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he I do think that he learned from The Sixth Sense. I think he learned a lot, and you know he goes on. He gives us great movies until we get to The Village.
I think the idea behind that was really good, but I don't remember liking it. But I think I watched it on TV, like not the whole movie and spread out by commercials. So
Yeah,
I'd have to watch it.
it's just it suffers from similar problems as to what we're talking about, The Sixth Sense. So it's kind of like
writing around the issue instead of like hiding it in the open and like just being like you just don't pay attention.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't. That's really my only issue with this movie. I literally do not have another issue with this movie. It's the pacing. It's a big issue.
Yeah,
but
I have zero issue with the special effects, with the acting, with the writing. Other than the pacing,
this movie held up.
The direction, the cinematography is fantastic. I mean, this is a fucking excellent movie.
Yeah, that's amazing. I don't think we've said this before on the show, actually. But it's weird how much longer a movie will stand up if you use practical effects versus
we've never said
effects.
We've never said that practical effects are better than visual effects on the show. That's never happened.
I think that's a new revelation for us.
It's a new thing.
Well, you guys should say that because they're better.
They are better.
Yeah.
We want to say that right now.
Do we have to put like a /S or anything for sarcasm? Like, did it come? If our sarcasm about the practical effects, us never having said that, didn't come through, go ahead and email us draftyq@gmail.com if you have any other questions or comments,
or email us with the timestamps and the episodes we've said it before.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Do that legwork.
Just email us and say hi.
Yeah.
How are you? How's your day?
We're not gonna do any pizza parties, so stop it with that shit.
We're not.
Dave doesn't deserve it.
What?
What
the fuck? I think I've been doing real good.
I'm trying to get an angry email. Calm down.
I've been showing up. I need a pizza party.
He watches the movie.
I watch the movies. I put on pants and come here.
You don't have to put on pants.
Oh shit! I mean, yeah, shorts, but pants. But yes, you really feel for Haley Joel Osment, because like he's just like this little boy who's these fucking ghosts are haunting him.
Yeah, and some of them are like violent.
Yeah,
and I like that because the other thing that I picked up on was like he knows Bruce Willis is dead the whole time.
Yeah,
like
that's why
he's scared of him at first.
Scared, yeah,
and so like that's all done really well. Like him in the church. Like I just fuck.
Yeah, the whole thing.
If you haven't watched this movie, and you haven't watched this movie because you know how it ends,
watch it anyway.
Watch it fucking anyway.
It's real good.
I can attest to that because I knew how it ended, and I haven't seen it in so long.
They basically forgot everything other than like she was dead.
Yeah.
I see dead people.
I still enjoy it. It doesn't ruin the movie.
No, it doesn't.
No.
I don't think it does. Like, you know, obviously some stuff where you're like, well, I know what happens at the end, so it ruins the whole movie. Like some movies it does, you know, but like this, is not one of those movies.
Yeah.
Because it's not really about that. Like it is, and that like changes a lot of shit about the movie,
Yeah.
but it doesn't make the journey
any
pointless.
less meaningful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some movies when the ending or the spoiler, the big twist, whatever, runs the whole movie, that's because the whole movie is leading to and built to that twist. This movie
Tells
does not do that.
Whole story.
It's wrote around the twist, but every piece of this movie is important.
yes.
So it's still a cohesive story that isn't just about the twist. Like the movie is not about Bruce Willis being dead. That's
Yeah.
not what the movie is about.
It's about him helping
Yeah.
Haley Joel's character.
It's about
Yeah.
I mean,
and
it's
Haley Joel
essentially-
helping
it's about-
him.
Yeah, having a purpose and like discovering that purpose and coming to terms with whatever that purpose might be, and like moving forward in a direction that like suits your life. Like you have a problem and learning how to deal with it. Like there's a lesson to the movie. Like
Yeah.
this movie blew my fucking mind. Because when I watched it when I was younger, I didn't get it. I didn't like it. I was like, this is stupid. You made me think he was alive. You didn't make me think he was alive. I made me think he was alive.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
There's no indication that he was ever alive after that gunshot.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have a trivia corner this week?
Oh yeah, we do, baby.
Oh, fuck yeah, bud.
We always have a trivia corner
Let's do it.
Dave's trivia corner.
down on the corner.
Down on the street.
I like it.
Gonna say some trivia, and it's gonna be kind of neat.
Oh, neat.
I like this. We have make Barry auto tune this or something, or just
No.
put some.
It's coming out raw.
Okay, that's how I like it. I like it raw.
All
All
right. Dirty.
Pack up the mics. We're going to the corner.
All right. Let me put my waders on.
My cord is 25 feet long.
Well,
That is not a euphemism for my penis.
No.
Sorry, I had to get that in there. I hadn't talked about my penis this episode.
That's true.
So
We
let's-
went so long without
I
talking
know.
about penises.
You thought you were going to get away with it.
All right, welcome to Dave's Trivia Corner, where the part of this corner is to make you go, huh,
Neat.
All right, I got some good ones today.
All right. Let's lay them on me.
Reportedly, Haley Joel Osment got the role for Cole Sear for one of three reasons. First, he was the best for it. Second, he was the only boy at auditions who wore a tie. Third, director M. Night Shyamalan was surprised when he asked Osment if he read his part. Osment replied, I read it 3 times last night. Shyamalan was impressed, saying, wow, you read your part 3 times? Osment replied, no, I read the script 3 times.
Shit.
Yeah, that's a worker right there.
Yeah.
Toni Collette has said, let me take that. Toni Collette has said that she was so moved by the emotional resonance of this film, of the story while filming, she did not even realize it was a horror film till after its release.
Yeah. This movie is an
Crazy.
emotional roller coaster. Like,
Yes.
Yeah, my throat was so fucking dry.
oh yeah, we were cutting lots of onions in the living room.
I was gonna not bring it up, but yeah, I was in
Dude.
bed watching this movie going, God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were watching the scene. We were to the scene where he's like telling his mom in the car. I'm gonna try to say it. We were to the scene where he was talking to his mom in the car, and I was just like, "Oh fuck, am I gonna cry at the Sixth Sense? What is happening?" And then Shane was like, "Son of a bitch, man!" And it made me laugh. So I was like relieved the tension had been broken.
That's the whole reason I said it, because I was just like, I gotta laugh, and I can't just laugh out of nowhere, because this is not a part you laugh
It's not
at.
a laughing part. I'm glad I'm not the only one. We should watch these together so we can
Dude.
all cry together.
Man, you're more than welcome to come over on Tuesdays when we watch it.
I might have to do that sometime. That's not part of the corner, though.
No.
According to director M. Night Shyamalan, Donnie Wahlberg lost 43 pounds for the role of Vincent Gray.
That's why he didn't look like himself,
Yeah.
Russell. I was like, that's
still
Donnie
not
Wahlberg?
I
Fucking
was
Donnie?
like, is it the same Donnie Wahlberg or is this a different Donnie Wahlberg? It's the
same one.
Same Donnie Wahlberg.
While in New York City auditioning for Bringing Out the Dead, 1999, Toni Collette was also auditioned for this film as an afterthought. She said the scene in the car toward the end of the film, which was the audition scene, was a scene that really drew her to the film.
Oh my God, that was the audition scene?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Got some rapid fire ones. We got filmed in sequence. The entire
Oh, wow.
film is filmed in
Nice.
sequence.
That kind of makes sense.
M. Night Shyamalan wrote the role of Malcolm Crowe with Bruce Willis in mind.
Sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got here? The movie was rented by 80 million people in 2000, making it the year's top-rated VHS and DVD title.
Holy
Nice.
shit.
DVDs were out in 2000.
Yeah, dude.
Fucking old.
I remember watching in school the DVD bouncing thing, the logo bouncing, waiting for it to hit the corner.
Yeah. Do you guys know the last VHS title and year? I do.
You told me what it was, and now I don't remember.
What is it?
It was 2006 was the last VHS release, and it was History of Violence.
History of Violence,
yeah.
yep.
Yeah, because I remember thinking that was a weird one to go out on.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense.
If you can
VHS
find
has
it.
had a history of violence.
If you can find that tape, it's like $70. I collect VHS tapes. I don't know if that's been said on the show.
So how many copies of History of Violence do you want?
Do I want?
Yeah,
I
'cause
want
you just
like at
offered
least 4.
70. So if I find them,
I want 0 if that's got a few on here. According to Michael Cera, this was the first film that he ever auditioned for. He read for the part of Cole, and the scene he did was the magic trick scene, but he later admitted that he did it too cheerfully. He had not read the entire script, so he didn't know that Cole was supposed to be an introverted and quiet boy.
I'm glad he didn't read the entire script.
Yeah, what?
Fuck you, Michael Cera. Stop looking like me.
He does.
Fuck you.
Oh, Russell.
Russell looks like 4 of those dudes. Who's the other one? Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg.
There's another one.
Some people have said Andy Samberg.
Eh,
I can see it.
a little bit. But anyway,
I got one more.
one more.
The film opened on M. Night Shyamalan's birthday.
Oh, fuck. What a gift.
Huh.
Yeah.
Neat.
Yes, it worked. But this has been Dave's Trivia Corner.
Trivia Corner.
Corner.
Corner Breaker.
Are we a shock jockey show now?
Yeah.
Oh,
With-
God.
with a
We need
little bit
shock
of-
jock soundboard.
What the fuck is that fucking game? What the fuck is the name of that game? Son of a bitch. I just fucking...
Guess who?
No, my fucking head is
We
gone.
never know who anyone is.
The fucking Super Nintendo fighting game.
Street Fighter.
No.
Street Fighter 2.
It's made by Rare.
Primal Rage.
No.
Donkey Kong?
The other one. What the fuck?
Donkey Kong Fighters.
Shut the fuck up.
Clay Fighter.
No.
I'm naming all the fighting games I know. Mortal Kombat.
No. It was made by Rare. What the fuck? It's on Xbox now.
Killer Instinct?
Yeah, Killer Instinct.
Killer Instinct.
Oh, that was another joke. My bad.
Jesus Christ. I don't know where my head's at. Anyway, are we ready to rate this?
I think I'm ready.
Okay. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. I think if this had been paced better, I think it would have been a solid 9.5. But the acting is fantastic, and the movie's held up for over 20 years. So, I mean, you can't get a whole lot better than that. You can't ask for more, honestly, especially out of like a first major effort.
Right.
So, I'm gonna give it an 8. Russell, what are you looking at?
This is going to be my longest rating ever. So here we go.
I'm gonna go take a shit.
Shane. Ditto. Dave?
Yes.
What you got?
Wait.
That was it.
Your turn.
Ditto.
I got Dave.
No. You got me. I'm so good. Where's my head?
Ditto is a word that you use to just say the exact same thing that was already said.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Pokemon. That's why I was confused.
Is
Well,
that
yeah,
a
see, it
mimic?
copies or a mimic, but
Mhm.
it copies other Pokemon.
No, I mean that's what the
Yeah.
Ditto does. It mimics, right?
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I fucked your whole bit up. So
It's okay. It wasn't a very good bit. Basically, Shane, everything that you said, I
Yeah.
agree with.
Yeah.
all right. Well, to my bit, my rating, not bit. Jesus.
Now it's a bit.
Now it's a bit. Ditto.
All right.
I'm gonna
Unanimous.
I'm gonna go with a 9.
Okay.
It definitely holds up.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, I haven't seen it since I was young, like too young to understand.
Yeah.
And like I was like totally engaged into it the whole time. I got sad. I was like, why am I getting sad
Yeah.
in this like movie that I've for like 25-year-old movie? But yeah, I thought it was really good. I really like the scenes with Bruce Willis, because you like looking back, you could tell that no one sees him there, but like,
Yeah.
he does a good job
Yeah.
fitting into the scene.
Yeah.
Haley Joel kills it. You really
Yeah.
feel for that little boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm giving it a 9.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good score, Dave.
Thank you. Ditto.
Ditto. This was we're into my second bit. Dave
That's
is my
me.
foil.
I ruined the bits.
Wow.
I do too, but usually only if they're in a drill.
Ooh.
We should go.
Oh
We
my
should.
god.
These
All
jokes
right.
are bad.
What? So what are we watching next week? What was it? I don't remember what the
Lady in the Water.
Lady in the Water.
Lady enunciations, please.
Lady.
Lady.
Hey, lady.
Lady in the Water.
We're all slowly becoming the same person.
All right.
Ditto.
Jesus.
For the love of God, Shane, stop me.
Thanks for listening. This has been DQB Does, where we went over The Sixth Sense. Do you know why you're afraid when you're alone? I do. That was terrible, but we'll work with it.
Ditto.
This has been a production of the Drafty Quarters Podcast Network.